Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, angels and demons and monsters and serpents. This is Brothers of the Serpent Podcast, and we are coming to you totally live from the 10 by 10 by 10 Tangent Cube of Science.
Cheers, everybody.
Where we are nestled amongst the dusty bones of an ancient seabed high atop the Edwards Plateau. Another live episode. Hold on. Gotta get some salts.
Yeah, playing some album tunes here. These are old versions. There will be new ones coming.
So, we are headed back to Egypt already. I was just thinking about that today. Like,
well, you
dude,
just got back.
I know. I'm like, bro, we're leaving in 3 weeks.
All right. Kill the cricket's noise.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
So we got, still have tons of emails. We're trying to catch up here.
YouTube says now would be a good time to insert an ad.
Oh. Well, you can just F right off with that, YouTube. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, we do these live episodes, and then sometimes YouTube will come into the, like the recorded version and put an ad in every 5 minutes. And I don't know why, so I have to go in and edit the ad placements.
What is this?
It's saying we don't have good internet connection right now.
What?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Hopefully it's good. I think some people did say on the last live that it got out of sync in the last 10 minutes or something.
Lame.
Yeah, stuff happens. What did Gary say? Every live stream, something happens every live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so thanks to all of you being here in the chats.
Yeah, appreciate it. What's up?
Yeah. And what else is going on?
Still working on the winery.
Yeah, trying to wrap up the winery.
The glycol system, which is it's a piping of chilled glycol that goes through the winery.
Like water with antifreeze in it.
Yeah. So you have a chiller that cools it down. You can cool it down to like 25 degrees. And then there's a pump that pumps it in a big loop through the winery. And you can take off that glycol loop and run it through a coil fan so that it'll blow cold air, or you can pump it into a tank, a wine tank. The tanks have jackets that the glycol flows through, and so it'll freeze the tank. So the plumbers have the main trunk lines all run, and we've been installing the fittings to attach all the tanks to the glycol line. It's been a big pain in the ass. Yeah. But we're getting there. We're getting there.
For some reason, you told him we would do it.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, yeah, I'll handle that. And then I was like, dude, this is a big job.
Why did I say this?
I didn't want to mess with my tanks.
Yeah. Yeah. It is good to know all the connections are the way you want them and everything.
Yeah. I mean, these guys
I
are
was
good,
thinking
though.
that when we were working on it today. I'm like, I kind of like this because I know how everything's flowing.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I mean,
I think they'll be done with the piping by tomorrow.
Yep.
Then we have probably
The insulators are
3
coming in.
weeks. It'll be insulated in 3 weeks. All the pipe has to be insulated, otherwise it'll sweat and drip water everywhere.
Yeah.
So they got to insulate all the piping. And when
People
that
are
is
asking-
done, the winery is done.
Yeah.
I mean, like the tasting room lab part can still be built out, but dude, the winery, the production.
Yeah, there's some electrical
side.
stuff we have to get settled,
Yeah,
and the
we're good.
generator thing, but yes, so you're right. The winery's done.
The winery is done.
We can move the wine in.
can operate.
We can cool the rooms down. It's gonna be fucking fantastic.
I need to take some video, and then like the next live stream, just like, show some walkthrough videos,
Yeah.
of, like explaining it and stuff.
Yeah,
It'd be cool.
yeah.
It's so cool. The facility is just like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's an amazing building. The whole, like the infrastructure of the building, the utilities, like everything about it is just like, damn.
Yeah.
Like,
It is top of the line.
cool.
Timmy, you can get a bottle or case. Just go to turtlecreekvineyard.com, I think, right?
Yeah.
Or you can go to the SnakeBros website and there's a link to it, but you can order them.
Yep.
From Wine Cub, basically, we have
You can't order all of the wines because some of them are purely for memberships, but there are wines available to order
yeah.
that are our wines.
Yeah.
All the Turtle Creek stuff we made. and grew.
Bro,
So, hey,
what's up, buddy?
stop
Cheers
telling me
from-
to stop whining.
Cheers from Snowmageddon. Cheers
All
from
right,
Snowmageddon,
what's up, dude?
Michigan.
Cheers, bro.
Yeah. People are asking, did we get new smelling salt? No, I need to order another bottle. This one's getting a
You
little
just
weak.
got to go in deep. It's oh my god. Woo! That was going to hurt.
That worked.
Yeah. Yeah, they still work.
Yeah.
They just don't work from out here like they used to.
Okay, space weather news. All right. Space weather news
Professional.
from spaceweather.com. What is up in space? More CMEs are coming. A CME hit Earth yesterday. More are on the way. According to a NOAA model of activity from Sunspot 4366. Minor G1 class magnetic storms are possible on February 5th and 8th when the CMEs arrive. And yesterday's CME sparked a G1 class geomagnetic storm with auroras around the Arctic Circle. Greg Ash photographed the display from somewhere in Sweden. He said, in spite of the nearly full moon, the auroras were very visible to the naked eye, and it was especially beautiful to the Swedish mountains to the south. And these photos that are on this, I mean, like, we're going to have to get up there and actually see these at some point.
Yeah,
Like,
I would love to see that.
I mean, I've seen, the sky turn sort of reddish or a bit of purple, but like these beautiful bands that kind of move around, like I want to experience that. It must be
The photos are
amazing.
misleading though.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Because
They
they're
can be
letting the
misleading.
long exposure so that it really stands
it
out.
stands out. Yep.
But I know people have gone up there and seen it and they've said it's amazing.
Yeah. So current conditions, solar wind speed is 580.4 kilometers per second. The density is 1.04 protons per cubic centimeter. Current sunspot number is 166, but the KP index is 133, which is quiet. 1.33, quiet. However, the 24-hour max was 5.33 because of the previous CME hitting. So that was at the stormy level. So maybe another one coming soon. And yeah, we had that big one that came through a while ago, and I was hoping to see more,
Yeah.
but I went out and looked, and I didn't see anything. Just that one time when we went out and could actually see stuff in the sky. What was that, like last year?
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it had to have been last year.
Yeah.
It's only February.
Right. A year ago? God. Actually. Okay, bro. Jeez.
That's what I was telling Sol. His birthday's on the 1st.
Yeah.
And he was like, what'd you give me for my birthday? And I'm like, I'm not going to tell you until like next year.
Yeah.
And he was like,
He's like,
what? He
Yeah,
got all
I know.
upset, dude.
I heard you trolling him with the, you're not getting your presents till next year. What?
Nailed him. He fell for it hard.
He did fall for it. Okay, so we have a whole bunch of emails. Did you have anything else you wanted to?
No,
bring up?
I got nothing other than work stuff. There's some other things going on in the background,
Yeah, there's always stuff going
There's
on.
always
in the
stuff
background.
going on in the background, but nothing to report yet. We're looking forward to the Artifact Foundation results coming out. So
Yeah.
that's imminent. It is coming.
Sweet.
And so we're excited about that, but I don't have anything to report about it right now.
Okay. All right. Well, first email, and again, we're still in 2024 here, but this is
Wait.
What?
There was another thing I just remembered. Just wanted to give a shout out to Darren and Graham of the Grimerica podcast, and they are doing an Easter Island tour, and there's 4 spots left. So Darren asked me to give a shout out, and so you guys should go check it out. It's April 22nd through the 30th. Flight included from Santiago to Rapa, he says. But yeah, I'm sure that's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
Those dudes are awesome. Go check them out if you don't know about them. Grimerica.ca.
That's right.
/tours.
That's probably correct.
I'm guessing at the website URL, but yeah, check them out.
Right, so still in 2024 with the emails. This one is October, so we're getting closer to the end of the year for 2024. Okay. This one is cool, though. Flat Earth versus Spherical is what it's called. It says, "Hello, bros. I have a friend that is skeptical about everything. One being that the Earth might be flat. What a huge conspiracy this would be, right?
Wait. He's skeptical that the Earth is flat?
It's round.
Okay.
I think is what he means. Yeah, the friend
so
is
he's
skeptical about...
I'm sorry, friend of emailer. I had to. Anyways.
Yes, so he's skeptical about everything, one being that the Earth might be flat. In other words, he's skeptical about it being a sphere. So what a huge conspiracy this would be, right? If true, it would be the biggest one ever. Imagine all the people in on the cover-up. Anyway, thanks to the subpar school system and you guys, my wife and I are homeschooling our 11-year-old son and decided to take a field trip to prove that the Earth is indeed curved.
Oh, wow.
This is not as easy as it may seem on account of the land not being flat, and there are atmospheric distortions that create optical illusions. Nevertheless, I made a plan and we executed it this last Sunday. So we went to Warren Dunes State Park in southwest Michigan to look across Lake Michigan to see Chicago. It's said that if the conditions are correct, the skyline can be seen from there. It's 54-ish miles away and should not be visible by over 400 feet on account of the Earth's curve. So the top of the tallest building should be 400 feet below the horizon on account of the curve from the level of the lake.
Okay.
So according to swmichigan.org, the view is best in the fall when atmospheric conditions cause the most light refraction. And we were able to see the skyline from 180 feet atop the dune. Atop a dune, we could see 21 building tops. From a 30-foot dune, we could only see one building top, the Willis Tower. And from 20 feet down, less of that tower. And then from water level and my spotting scope height, nothing. If the Earth was flat, we should have been able to see the ground level over there from any elevation over here, proving both the Earth is curved and that the atmosphere curves the light.
Very cool.
He said he included some pictures. The 30-foot and 20-foot pics are taken with cell phone through a 60x spotting scope. And the 180 feet is just the cell zoomed into 10x. Anyway, he said climbing the dune was hard enough without a scope and tripod. So yeah, that's cool. It's like there's a couple of photos. You can see the tower there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the actual skyline.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So who is this?
This is from, it's Harley. Yeah.
Dox him. There's a guy in the chats that lives there. He wants to know.
Nick. Maybe it's Nick. I could dox Nick too. Let's see if I can.
Oh, that's Nick?
Yeah, I think that's Nick, isn't it? Let's see. Is this working? Nope. Oh, well.
Nope.
Okay.
Don't know why.
Put it on my camera. I'll see if I can show people one of the photos. It's probably not going to work. Yeah, so there's one building. You see, you can barely see it. There's less of that building. And then, let me scroll it. And then you can see some of the skyline from the highest dune there.
Those pictures look so grainy and fake.
Yeah, it's clearly fake. He's part of the conspiracy. Anyway, thanks, man. I totally dig people going out and doing their own. You know, sometimes you just got to see it.
What's up, Nick? It is him.
Yeah.
He's practicing la bass. All right, bro. Yeah. Yeah, next tour, bro. You're in. I'll send you a set list.
All right, good. Excellent. All right, so this next one is called Photographic Inspection of Core Number 7.
Okay.
So Kyle has actually held this core in his hand. I have still only seen it in photos. So I thought this might be interesting. So he says, this is from Colin. He says, "Hi guys. For background, I have a history in machine vision inspection, which is a niche, high-end technology used to examine objects for quality purposes. I used to work for a company called Stemmer Imaging, albeit in a design and marketing role. In my time there, I learned a lot about visual inspection. I need someone to understand that there is a way of inspecting core number 7 that will make the helical/spiral nature of the groove very obvious very quickly. These are the salient points. 1, the core needs to be illuminated using low-angle lighting, sometimes called dark field illumination. This technique is usually used to find very small dents or imperfections and scratches in objects. Basically, the light needs to be tangential to the curved surface, which could be done in 2 ways. Either a ring light above the core, or alternatively, a linear light source placed to the left or right of the core. Doing this will reveal the groove in very high contrast, such that they become extremely obvious.
Yep.
2, using the low-angle illumination, a camera placed at 90 degrees to the light pointing perpendicular to the core will pick up the groove. If the core is then rotated, the groove will either A, appear to track up the core or down depending on the direction of rotation in a traceable and very obvious way, or B, wobble up and down slowly if the grooves are parallel. If this setup is used, the evidence obtained will be 100% obvious either way. I hope this is useful. If you need any extra information or potential contact someone in the machine vision industry, feel free to email me back. I hope someone sees this as it will clear up the speculation on core number 7 instantly, one way or another. That is a good idea. Like,
that is, yeah.
Like if you're getting video and you rotate it and you do that to a screw, you can easily see that the threads appear to move upwards, right? So if it's
okay, I just
Kyle's gonna do some demonstrations here.
Well, where did it go? I gotta move this. So I think that you can see the grooves. Now, I didn't uplight it or downlight it or however you want to put it. That's a great idea. But the lighting that I did use, you can see the grooves, and they don't look spiral to me. They look like they go a little. Now, maybe they are spiraling, but then they just stop, and then another one starts, and another one, and they're not like, it's not a perfect continuous.
Right, it's not like a screw. Yeah.
Maybe you get a couple of rotations out of 1 or 2, but I want to pull it up and we should look at it. But I have to find it, which
might be tough.
Could be difficult. Let's see. There they are. Okay, and then I have to download them from the cloud because they're on the iCloud.
Okay.
Let me.
So you don't think they look like they spiral?
They
look horizontal.
Not just to the eye. No. What I'm saying is, I'm saying they could be angled like they were a spiral, but the line is broken.
Yeah.
All over the place.
A broken spiral is how I think. Right?
But you can see a line will be going, and then 2 lines will go. It's weird. It's
okay.
So let me.
Yeah, I didn't get to examine it closely,
let me see if
at
I
all,
can,
really. So.
Let me see if I can drag this. No,
you got some videos you could play.
I
know you rotated it.
Yeah. We'll play this video. How do I get? I'm totally professional here, folks. Just hang on a second. Okay, let me see if I can.
Will it play? Is it in?
Now it's gonna suck because we can't really look at the big screen.
Oh well, it's all right.
But
as long as people can see it.
I don't know how to get out there. I'm trying to figure out what the position of my other monitor is in so I can move stuff over there. Okay. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are. Let me get back down to my monitor. Where is the hole? How do I get down there? Look, it's on the opposite sides.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can see the grooves here. On the edges, and then in the light you can kind of see them a little bit. But if you try to follow one, they don't really keep going. Now, I'm not saying this is definitive. But
just you doing that, they did look like it was like rotate it more, use the. I can see how they're not.
See how they'll kind of go up and then back down.
Yeah, they're not even, but grab the.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
It's got to load. This is iCloud. This is what happens when you use the iCloud, folks. And it downsizes what is on your hard drive.
Yeah.
And then when you go to try to play it back, it can't download it very fast because their server, like it just doesn't download
We
fast.
can just solve this with an enormous amount of storage,
Yeah.
which is not expensive. And you don't need to upload.
That's
stuff
what
to
I've been
iCloud.
doing. I've been dumping all this stuff onto the RAID stack slowly.
Yeah.
But I have to download it from the iCloud and then put it on the RAID
Oh,
stack.
yeah.
Anyways, sorry for the jumpy video.
Well, once it finishes loading it, then you can.
Yeah, okay, so like here's a line.
Yeah.
And like right there, see how it like dipped down
Yeah, I
right
see
there?
it,
And
yeah.
then it kind of went back up. So there's a lot of stuff like that. Now, I've talked to Chuck about this, and it could be that this isn't a feed rate, but this is like that chunks of some cutting stone, like diamond or whatever they were using, some jeweled piece, break out and get jammed in the
And just
side
rolls
and
around,
roll
yeah.
around in there until they break. And then the line vanishes, and then the thing keeps cutting, and then another stone breaks loose. So, but yeah, look, I mean, it's like this one just goes and then suddenly like curves up.
Yeah.
So they just,
But you can still, like, I mean, at least it's been said, you can wrap it. Right?
I think that introduces bias,
Okay.
like if you're following this line with a string, the string's not going to just bend for you nicely around this curve. It's going to just kind of want to go straight.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't argue that wrapping a string around it introduces bias, because you, like, where you
Choose to put
the string is where the string's
Well,
going
that's
to be.
the other thing is the there was a model made, like basically what is it called? It was wrapped in vinyl or something.
Yeah, look at let's just follow just for a moment this little set of lines
Yeah.
right here. Okay.
So for people asking, this is Petrie's core number 7. It's in granite. This is an object
Now
found on the
look,
Giza Plateau.
these
in
are
Egypt.
going straight, and then these start going up, and then these are still like they spread apart.
Yeah. And I see one seems to end right there. Like right there in between them.
Yeah, this one
Yeah.
and this one.
Yeah, that one ends right there.
So
So just rotate it quickly with the
okay. Let me.
There we go. It's also not balanced perfectly. That was the other thing.
Yeah, that was difficult. But this was for photogrammetry.
Yeah.
So yeah, the guy is right. This is not the greatest lighting,
Yeah.
but I don't know. For me, it was kind of enough. Like I'm not saying it isn't a spiral. Again, I'm just saying this doesn't look like feed rate because of the fact that the lines go up and down.
Right.
That's
Are you saying you would expect more regularity if it was a feed rate line? If it was an actual cutting, part of the cutting process? Because, I mean, wouldn't you expect it to get sort of, sometimes it would move faster through the material and sometimes slower?
yeah, but if it was a circular saw,
In general, I'd say that looks like a screw.
if
though.
it was a circular saw, the lines would be like it would be. Like in other words, if it was a core bit,
Yeah.
how can the line go like this around it?
No, yeah,
It can't.
No.
It has to be a straight line around it, curved obviously around the piece, but
Yeah.
like I don't see how a core drill even can do this unless it was like Chuck said, like a piece of broken off jewel
Yeah.
grinding against the stone, which can go up and down.
Yeah.
I like Chuck's idea. That's just, I don't know. So anyway, I don't know. I'm just saying it did, just to me, I was like, that doesn't look like what I expected.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen tons of photos. That's what it looks like.
They just look like they go up and down to me. Like they're not, it's not a helix.
Yeah.
They're not crossing each other though.
Right. They don't cross each other.
They're
And I
not
do-
sitting there
and I do think-
crisscrossing and stuff.
I do think some of them are continuous, at least for several rotations,
Yeah.
which means that it's in general a spiral. I think that's how Petrie described it too. Right?
Yeah.
Like a broken spiral.
Yes. I would agree
So
with that.
it isn't like a single...
They are not parallel lines.
Right.
That's for sure.
And it isn't a single cutting edge, like working its way down through the stone and leaving a continuous line all the way down. It's obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously. It seems to be multiple pieces of cutting material affecting the stone at different times in different ways. So I don't know. Yeah. But it is interesting, like people are mentioning in there, like they're fairly consistent in depth and width. You know, not totally, but it does seem unlikely for it to be like an accident, like something that fell in there. Mm-hmm. And also we see these marks on other cores. So
there are other cores with much better marks than this one. This one has, like, I would say the deepest marks that I saw, but there are other cores that, like, they have really fine striations.
Yeah. The core holes that are in the granite block up by the entrance of the original entrance of the Great Pyramid is like some of the most amazing ones you can see. And it's one of them split in half. So you can see it all the way down its length. Now that's the exterior. It's not the core.
Yeah.
It's actually the
outside. They have striations. Like
there's
they do.
Striations.
Yeah. They look spiral.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with this guy. Who is this guy? He said, we should do uplighting. That would be better.
This idea that like you stand the core up like this, and then you set a ring light
over top of it, so it's just shining down on all sides.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
That's a great idea. Yeah,
the guy's a genius.
Yep.
Little late. Thanks.
Well,
thanks for being way late.
Yeah. Actually, this was written in November of 2024. So
when did we go?
Maybe
No, we went in October of 24.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. Just too late.
Just a slightly bit too late. Thank you, bro.
Okay, so not way late. Sorry. You weren't way late.
We were just way late in responding. But still, it's a good excuse to get the video of it out and look at it. I don't know. It's fascinating to look at that thing.
Yeah.
What kind of process would make that?
That's a deep groove in granite too.
Yeah.
I mean, to make that, because it looks like a one-pass groove.
Right. One pass.
That's not like, you don't make that
pass.
pass.
It has serious cutting power.
Yeah, so that's another thing that no one talks about. Like they want to argue over the spiral pattern. Well, this is a one-pass groove.
Yeah.
Like, because it's got irregularities, it can't be multiple passes because you're not going to repeat. And the archaeologists say, oh, that's just grains of sand grinding against.
Yeah, no.
Well, no grain of sand is going to just not wear. And the line has like a very regular thickness all the way from the top to the bottom. No grain of sand is going to do that.
Right. So
Petrie was at least right about something. It had to have been something harder than these materials. It was something like a jeweled tip tool. So
yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
So it is still mysterious. I don't think mystery's solved, even if it turns out not to be a perfect spiral or whatever. It doesn't matter that this is still a mysterious object, and there's other features that need to be explained.
Yeah. So I guess that I've said this before, but I don't think the argument ever was really that it's supposed to be a perfect spiral, but that it is spiral-like and not horizontal, like very fine horizontal lines that are akin to like a rough polishing, which is what you would expect from sand cutting.
It was supposed to be perfect.
One line spiral from top to bottom.
Okay, I gotta fix the arrangement here.
Okay. Oh, you're fixing the arrangement of the screen so you can
so
easily
I can
move
get down there. I had to go up the right side of my second screen, and it would come up in the left side of my... Oh, it was just confusing. Couldn't find the mouse. Lost the mouse.
Okay, so this one, next email, is from Robert. And he says he's got an idea about hinge ditches.
Okay. That is the hinge. Yeah?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
The ditch... With the like they basically dig the ditch out and build pile it all and build a berm
or something. That's the actual. That is a hinge. Yeah. So he says, hey, boys, I have an idea for the hinge ditches that I have never heard before. This may apply to the similar features in the Amazon. If you are trying to create an accurate astronomical device, you need accurate references. Creating the large berm on the outer side of the hinge as a 360-degree horizon marker, as you guys discussed, is critical. How do you assure that the outer berm is level over such large distances? Quite simply, that is the reason for the ditch. You dig the ditch in order to fill it with water. The water will seek a level surface, and then you use a constant tool to measure up from the water surface to construct the top of the berm, creating a perfectly level false horizon. So sorry if this is already a widely held idea, but I thought it was a good explanation. Love the work you guys do. So yeah, he shows using a carpenter square, a large one, to check your hinge berm height from the water level in your hinge ditch.
Yeah. You couldn't use an optical tool. You could use a tube of bamboo and a rod, right, with a mark on it or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, like, you basically make like the staff with the tube.
Yep.
And then the guy's got the rod down there on the water surface, and you're like, okay, we need to go higher.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
If they were using water for level, then they could make all kinds of stuff.
Right.
You know, like that. That's a good point.
All right. This one is about a Marty episode. Boots on the ground regarding Marty's latest episode.
Okay.
Which I don't know which episode that was at this time. Let's see. This was in, again, November of 2024. So he says, hello, gentlemen. I hope this correspondence finds you in a cheery late day mood. I just wanted to give some anecdotal confirmation on the beginning of Marty's most recent episode. I haven't listened to the whole thing yet. Just wanted to get this out before I forget. You guys spoke about Brad Sorensen, who was taken on a flight from San Bernardino County to Palmdale, California, and Plant 42 Skunk Works in 1988. Both my mother and I were born and raised in Lancaster, California, the sister city to Palmdale, only a few miles away across a high desert, dusty plateau. My grandfather worked at the nearby Edwards Air Force Base as a Marine sergeant from the late 50s, and my mother had two separate experiences in Lancaster in the early 1960s as a 6 to 8 year old child, in which she saw the stereotypical UFO-shaped craft descend to the ground in front of her at a distance of approximately 150 feet. Man, that's close. One time outside of her window and another time at a playground. To this day, she believes that it was some sort of hallucination that she had. I myself, several years later as a teenager and having no knowledge of my mother's experiences at that time, was standing on my front porch, which happened to look out directly over the restricted airspace of Skunk Works, and I saw what looked like 3 stars moving in a triangle formation above me from east to west. One of the trailing stars in the formation stopped in the sky while the other 2 continued on. Over a period of about approximately 30 seconds, the other 2 lights moved across the sky until the motionless light, almost instantaneously, caught back up in formation with the other 2 moving lights and continued across the sky. I watched this with 3 of my friends and only 2 of them could see it. One of them questioned us continuously as to what we were seeing and rattling on about and tried desperately to see, but he could not. And finally, my father-in-law worked at the facility off and on for 25 years. Not to be coy, but to protect what he told me in confidence. There's some crazy stuff there. God bless you, gentlemen. So I think what is the implication of this, that at Skunk Works they were working on this kind of stuff?
Don't know.
Why don't you tell, this reminds me though, why don't you tell what happened after we visited Marty a couple of weeks ago?
Oh yeah, we were on our way home, and so when we get on the back roads headed to the house out of the city, there's this portion of the drive where we're going like 30 miles an hour for a long ways, and you're kind of switching back and you're going down and down and down all the way to the river. And so on that drive, many times you can kind of see in the distance and the hills in the distance or whatever. And there's a lot of trees and stuff, but I'm like on my phone, I'm just doing whatever, or we're talking.
Laura's driving.
Laura's driving. I'm just chilling. And I'm seeing this, I'm thinking it was the moon at first. I'm seeing this like little slit, and I'm like, is that the moon like peeking through the clouds? you know, and I'm kind of eyeing it for a little while. And there's trees and stuff we're passing, and then like I'll get a sight of it real quick, and I'm like, that kind of looks like the moon, little curve, and
Like a crescent.
yeah, a little like a crescent poking out. It was bright, and eventually we get down to the part where you drop down into the river, and the trees clear away, and you're in there's this big open ravine where the river is, and I could like see it clearly. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a star. That must be a planet.
It's on like the back road back there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're coming back from San Antonio.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm like, oh, that's a planet. It must be like Venus or something. It's really bright. And it's just the clouds, you know, in the way that are making it, it looks weird. And so we keep going. And then like at one point I realized like, no, we're closer to it now. Like it's, and so then I'm like really looking at it, and Laura then goes, what is that? And I'm like, that is, I don't know. That's like, and then I start to see it, like we get into an open field, and it's this bright light, like, and then I started thinking that's an airplane headlight.
Yeah.
Big bright light. And now it's close, and it's obviously moving.
Okay.
But there is a crescent in front of the bright light of like
a shockwave.
It looks like cloud.
Ah.
This crescent that looks like, and I was thinking that was the freaking moon a while back. And then there's this bigger halo around the whole thing, like, and it's all moving. And I'm like, I think that's a plane. That's an airplane with the
atmospheric effect.
Yeah. So we stop on the side of the road because we're like, what? I'm like, wait a minute. There's no other lights. There's no other blinking lights.
Yeah.
And you know when you see a plane like coming in for landing or whatever,
It'll
it has
be
the
real
big
bright
bright headlight.
on. Yeah,
but then once it goes past you, you can see the tail lights. Well, we literally stop, and it's like it goes past us. I didn't hear anything. We had the car running. I was like, later I was like, why didn't we shut the car off?
Shut off the car.
You know, why didn't we do that? But I wasn't thinking about it at the time. I was just like, that is weird anomaly of like that the clouds are doing to this plane. But then it passes us, and it's moving at a clip, but it's not. You know, it reminds you of a plane, about the speed of a plane.
Yeah.
But it's got this weird crescent, like off of the distance in front of the light.
Yeah.
And then this big halo behind it. So weird.
That is weird.
And I didn't hear any like jet
sound,
noise or anything like that. No blinking lights, no red, no green. And now it's going away from us, and there was nothing.
You should have been seeing,
So then I was like,
running lights.
And then I was like, that has to be just somebody's drone.
Somebody's drone.
And that's what it was, folks. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, we started driving away, and we were like, what the fuck was that? And then I was like, of course we saw a freaking UFO.
Yeah.
After we went to visit Marty.
After, the day driving home from visiting Marty. Yeah.
And that was a really weird one, dude. I haven't seen anything like that before.
Yeah,
ever.
That is strange.
And I did get some video of it, but I think it sucks. It's just, taking video of lights in the sky. It's like, how good is that? It's going to suck.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can.
Thing where people are like, well, everyone has cameras now. Where the video? It's like, dude, you tried to take footage of lights in the sky. It's you can't.
I don't even know. Let's see if we can make out the halo. That would be cool if the halo was visible. Maybe read another email and I will.
Okay, well, there's some questions in here. Timmy's asking, who is Marty and how do you know him? Okay, so Marty is a good friend of ours who he first showed up in the Discord. And I had already been thinking about, like, I wanted to get some UFO content on the show. I was wanting to talk about this because it's a mystery that I love. And Marty was obviously, just from the stuff he was saying in the Discord, extremely knowledgeable. And I was like, hey, would you like to start coming on the show and discussing this topic? Because I'd like to do some UFO stuff. So Marty, for years, came on the show and would do these presentations. These long documents that he would write with all this evidence. So Marty's basically associated with the UFO episodes. If you go back and find you can find the UFO episodes from SnakeBros on the YouTube. There's a playlist for it. There must be 14 or 15 episodes. Okay. Show the video.
So you can't. It's blurry as crap, but you can see this brighter light right here. This is the crescent thing that was in front of the spotlight. it was like this illuminated crescent. So just so you know, that's where that was. And then there was like a halo around the whole thing. It was so weird. But of course, this is just terrible, folks. This is the way. Look at how nice the trees look.
Yeah.
That light looks terrible, but you can see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
There's like a crescent and a halo. It's so weird. And now it's moving away from us. It was coming at us before I took the video.
Yep. I'd
But there's
I'd
no-
want to pull over from that. Yep.
There's no... Look at that.
Look
There's
at
a
that.
dot in
There's
front
a
of
dot
it.
there. Yeah, that is weird.
There's a dot in front of it. This thing is like halo shaped. There's another ring. Like, it is not normal, whatever this thing is. These are power lines. Don't anyone freak out. Those are just power lines.
Oh, those aren't laser beams
No.
trying to destroy it? Okay.
It is not the frickin' moon, okay? That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Like,
that was the best part of the story is you start out with the skirps that are usually you're like, oh, it's the moon, and no, maybe it's Venus.
yeah, and then I was like, no, that's Venus. It was a bright
You never
planet.
thought it was swamp gas? Come on.
Well, now I do think it was swamp gas because what was making this halo?
Yeah. That was
And now you
it was
can't-
a,
you
it was
can't
a
really
reflection from a Chinese lantern
You can't see the
bouncing
ring
off of swamp gas
in the camera, but
that
there
was
was
disturbed by a bolide.
there was a ring. You can't really see it. You can kind of see a circle halo, but it kind of looks like one blob. But it
Yeah.
was like a clear ring, and then this thing is like crescent shaped,
Yeah.
and then there's this light. It's just what I don't know what this is. It's so weird. So, anyways, that was it.
Yeah, and
then I was like, you know what? Let's just go home.
You know what? Forget it. We're going home.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what I'm saying. You guys want to hear what
Yeah, what are you saying?
am I saying? Oh, there's no
There's no audio.
Huh. I was probably saying, what the fuck is that?
That does look pretty strange. I mean, that's weird.
It is really weird, yeah. I'm zoomed in. No, there we go. Laura kept driving. She did stop for a little bit and we watched it, but then she kept driving and I'm like, dang it. But we were both tired. We had driven all the way back from Houston. And it was, like I said, it was by the time we got down into the open, it was like right over. And that's when I realized, I'm like, we're actually getting closer to this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not the
You
moon.
went down into that where the
river and the
Yeah, it
cliffs
opens
were.
up. Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you come back up and then it opens into a big field.
yeah.
There's like they've cleared and there's
Yep.
like a big field area. That's where we were. So that happened right after we visited Marty. Very interesting.
Really cool. And then they called us right after we got, we were getting home as well. And they were like, did you guys see this? And Elisa and I were like, no, we didn't see anything.
Yeah,
So-
we know what time it was. I mean, I've got the video, so we know exactly what time it was. We know what day. He says go to flight radar and check history. We could check.
Yeah.
I know exactly.
People
where
are
it was.
suggesting rocket launches and blaming it on Elon Musk.
Could have been, but it kind of, you know how it looks when a plane is landing and you got that big bright headlight? That's what it looked like. You could kind of see that it was like lighting up that area in front of it.
Yeah.
Didn't look like a rocket, folks. I mean, that the light wasn't the tail end. In a
Right.
rocket, the light is the tail end.
Right.
The light was the front
Yeah.
of this thing. So,
Yeah. And then, okay, so the pollen idea is interesting. Kreese is saying Texas Hill Country trees release their pollen at this time. So
maybe.
if it's something in the atmosphere near the ground, in other words, where the trees are,
where were the tail lights? Where were the wing lights?
Yeah. How is it shining on it? I mean, it could make a halo, but Kyle is seeing a crescent. Like if a light is making a crescent on something in front of it, the stuff needs to be out in front of the light, and up where the plane is, there's no pollen. So I don't know. It could be. But
Who
yeah,
knows?
pollen will make haze because you're having to look through the pollen.
Let it be known that I already solved the mystery. I said it was a drone.
It's a drone. Look into it. Okay, thanks.
I'm sure the pollen can get way up there.
Yeah.
Like, think about the viruses and, it's just,
Yeah.
it can
Yeah.
It can probably get way up there. But there is, the moon will get a halo due to refraction.
Yeah.
When there is high humidity that's high
Way up there.
Way
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
high.
Yeah.
Now, a plane being lower, maybe if there's lower humidity, you'll get a bit of refraction, and maybe that's a little bit of like the rainbow effect.
Yep.
But this is like, and you do see those on like really clear nights.
Yeah.
But like, I would expect to see this often.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe not, because this plane was low. Or if it was a plane, but it wasn't a plane because it didn't have the blue or the green and
It didn't have the lights.
blue lights.
And most drones have that too. You could disable them or turn them off, I guess. But a lot of drones have flashing lights all over them too. Mm-hmm. And they definitely don't have spotlights.
Gigantic
Yeah.
headlights. I mean, this was super bright.
Right. So it would have to be a custom drone, which is also possible.
But there are a lot of private airstrips out here. There's a lot of little
Yeah.
private planes. We did not stop and shut the car off, so I couldn't hear. But yeah, so if it was a plane that was flying low that had a big spotlight and there was humidity in the sky, maybe it was a refraction of the humidity. But that is weird, because normally you see a halo that stays equidistant from the light source.
That's right.
This had like a crescent on one side and a light source away from it.
Yeah.
Like it was weird.
Yeah, it's
it was
weird.
just, it was very strange.
Right. So it could be a.
It was the crescent here and the light source. I don't know. It was just.
Yeah.
It didn't look right. It looked very strange.
It could be. I mean, it could just be strange atmospheric conditions. Like a lot of the times when you read the old like Blue Book files, this is what they blame.
Strange
it on.
atmospheric conditions.
Yeah. People are like, "Well, I'm used to seeing lights in the sky and it didn't look like this," and they're like, "Well, there's this very specific atmospheric condition that was happening right at this particular time when this thing was flying over, and it made it look like a spacecraft with people standing on it."
Yeah. And I mean, we were near the river where all of the humidity gathers and stuff. But I mean, it was up there. It wasn't like super low, but it was not a jet way up high that you would be thinking like that's coming to land in San Antonio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
we
this
see
was-
those plenty. And they get way out there, and then they turn on their damn
Yeah,
landing
you
lights.
see the light.
Yeah, and they're 50 miles away, and poof, they turn on these huge spotlights, and they're bright as hell.
Yep.
Yeah, but then as soon as they go overhead, you see
The light goes
and you
dim.
can see all the
Because when it's facing you, it's real bright. And when it goes over there, it like dims.
the light dims out, and then you can see the red lights and all that.
The
stuff.
tails. Yeah. Not this one.
Yeah. Okay.
For whatever reason. Okay.
Okay. Next email. This one is still in November. Okay. This one's called Pyramids, Rocks, Jokes, and Snakes. from Jake. Okay, he says, "What's up, Snake Bros? Jake the Snake here. You can read this email if you find its information worthy for the Snake Force. First time emailing, but I have been listening for a while. I was introduced to your podcast via Cosmographia with Randall. I work in construction and am able to listen to the podcasts all day in my headphones.
Yeah.
I was late to the party and only discovered Cosmographia earlier this year.
Shout out to the construction guys.
Yeah, construction dudes. Randall's insights on the subject he covers is incredible. He can paint such a vivid picture of what Earth went through in the past. I live in Wisconsin, about an hour and a half away from Devil's Lake State Park. And to hear what actually happened there literally rocked my world, as it was quite a different story than what I was taught in my geology classes. It's beautiful there, and if you haven't had the opportunity to visit, I would highly recommend it. The only caveat is you can't visit without me, or I'll be a very sad snake. Equally beautiful is the driftless region of the state. You drive 30 minutes and all of a sudden you feel like you've been teleported to an entirely different region of the country with large hills and valleys. It adds to the awe of what the glacier is capable of, considering that the rest of the state, the part that the glacier covered, is for the most part flat. Anyway, enough about someone else's podcast. I powered through Cosmographia in a couple of months and started listening to you guys. I listened to a lot of the newer episodes and watched the lives you streamed from Egypt and the Giza Plateau, and I cannot thank you enough for taking us all along with you on those trips.
Cheers, bro.
The details and information you presented, and with the special permissions you had, it really made me feel like I was there with you. I even got to be in the group photo. I forgot about that. We live streamed taking the group photo. That's right. After listening to many newer episodes, I decided to start at the very beginning with your very first episode, episode 2, so that I could be familiar and up to date on the conversations with your repeat guests. I'm in the 130s now. The interview with Christopher Dunn and his colleagues was spectacular. So much fun and so much good information, I could barely handle the brain expansion. Kyle also had a birthday episode on 134. Happy birthday, Kyle. And if Mark Young gets a piece of cake, I will take a slice also. I'll send you my address. You offered to send Mark Young a piece of your birthday cake. He's like, I want one too.
200
Oh yeah, oh, 200 sods.
Since episode 2.
Says, I'm fascinated by all things pyramids. It's what I was drawn to and where my research first began, but my main passion is the occult, energy, magic, alchemy, and astrology. I read a while back about the pyramids in Russia and the experiments of Alexander Golod. Oh, okay. Are you familiar? No. He was studying the metaphysical properties associated with the pyramids, and in one study, he placed antibiotics inside the pyramid for something like 2 weeks, and the characteristics of the antibiotics increased in potency or effect 1,000 times. I haven't been able to find that study again in my recent searches, but I did find some links to some really cool information regarding his research, and I will put them below.
Wait a minute. You put something in there that kills something, and it increases its killing ability by 1,000?
Yeah.
I'm now very deadly.
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Yeah. I'm trying to remember if this is the same guy that was saying that the pyramid shape would like preserve things, like put an apple slice or a banana in there and it would keep it from rotting.
Okay.
But I don't remember. I don't know if that's the same because I hadn't heard this thing about antibiotics. Okay, he said, also wondering if you read the information about the building and use of the pyramids in the book, The Law of One. No, I haven't read that book either. The book is listed in the encyclopedia, and I'm only on episode 138, so I'm not sure if you've discussed it in future episodes. Nope. I would love someday to meet you guys for some snake snack smokes and beers and discuss these topics in more depth. I was hoping beyond hope to make it to Cosmic Summit 2024, but I couldn't work it out. Perhaps a contact at the cabin soon, if that is still a thing. And one last thing I wanted to share is in regards to your laughing. I was working on a job, construction, remember, minding my own business, listening to the podcast, minding his own business, harming no one.
Yeah, bothering no one.
Bothering no one. I do tile installation, so I'm staring at the wall of a fireplace I was working on with my back to the room. I think it was the Christopher Dunn episode, actually, and I bust out laughing. And anyway, I turn around, and there are 3 workmen standing in the kitchen smiling at me with curious looks on their faces. I asked them, what's up? And they thought I was razzing the foreman. And I let them know it was just my podcast, but after the really cool part, they did start joking with the foreman. Then everyone was laughing, and the whole environment changed. I know this might be a small thing, but I study energy and personal alchemy and all that shit, and I pay close attention. It was very cool to see how the energy I exhibited was able to transform the room, and that is all thanks to you guys. Your laugh made me laugh, my laugh made them laugh, and the world is better for it.
Wow.
I imagine all the people you affect without even realizing it. I can't thank you guys enough for doing what you do and the way you do it. I know you wouldn't anyway, but don't change a goddamn thing. I will leave you with that for now. I would like to join the Discord, but I'm listening to the episodes in order now, and until I catch up, I'm worried my insights may be outdated. No, bro. Always join the Discord. You don't have to catch up on every episode before you join the chat. Trust me. Okay, but I'll probably do it anyway. It would be great to get to know some fellow snakes and share in the open-minded discussion. Sorry if this is a blast from the past. I'll see you boys in the future. And P.S., if you do read this email on the podcast, can you let me know so I don't have to wait 6 months to find out?
Yes. Just reply right now and be like, just read it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do it right now on air.
Just read it.
Okay. Hey, bro. Just read your email on the live show.
Tell him Kyle says, fuck yeah.
He will hear it.
Oh, yeah.
What? He's probably watching right now in the future. Hey, bro. Okay.
Well, wait. Tell him I said, hi.
Just read your email. Hold on, I'm trying to type here. Just read your email on a live episode. Thanks. P.S. Kyle says hi. Yes.
Perfect. All right. That's cool.
Okay.
Hey, no
Email sent.
No thunderstorm generator discussions in the chat. Keep it down out there.
Keep it down.
God, unruly group. Okay.
All right.
That was great.
Yeah. That is cool. Like he laughs and then he turns around and the other guys are like, he's like, oh, I'm
He's
laughing
at the he's staring into a fireplace.
yeah.
They're just like,
And then he makes them laugh, and then they all start laughing, and then the foreman comes in and laughs, and then everything is better. Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
My buddy Chaz, just real quick story. My buddy Chaz is on the winery job site right now, and he's a painter. 4 Strokes Painting, major plug. Anyways, he's painting the south wall of the winery because it's like burnished slate, because burnished slate is so beautiful with the background. Yeah. Anyways, burnished slate is a dark brown, and it's like my dad is like always constantly shooting his little laser thermometer at it, you know. He goes back there.
Stash walks out there.
It's December. It's like the middle of December, and he's like, beep.
It's
He's
like
it's 134 degrees. So
yeah, 'cause it's the southern wall, right?
Yeah, it just gets sun all day, and that's where all the electrical panels are. So we decided, like, okay, the electrician was like, listen, man, in the summertime, it's going to start tripping breakers. Like, it's just too hot.
Yeah.
So we hired my buddy to come paint this lower section of the back wall, just where all the electrical panels and all that stuff is. And the last couple days he's been back there doing it, and he's got the, like, you know, the Bose cans, like sound canceling headphones on, and he's like listening to Incubus or something. I go back there, he's rolling the wall, and he's just like just singing along.
Oh, that's great.
By himself. Can't hear any. And I like walk past. He has no idea I'm there. It was cracking me up. Anyway, construction.
Yep.
It's great. And then I'm like,
what was the...
Hey, bro!
Oh, yeah.
He's like...
What movie was it where the shuttle makes an emergency landing in the canal? And that kid has got his headphones in, and he's fucking grinding away on the shuttle. He turns around. Oh, Jesus Christ! What movie was that?
I don't know, but yeah. There is True Lies. Oh wait, is it True Lies? The guys, the janitor's in there, and he's got his headphones on. He's vacuuming the floor, and
all the fighting.
He's out there in the Harrier jump jet.
Oh yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's in the jump jet with the terrorist guy in there. It's like, whoa, and the tail just goes
That's right.
through the, and then he's just like, that's exactly the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Okay. All right. This one's called Cosmic Funk. Cosmic Funk.
That's a good name.
Yeah. From Shane, he says, it's real short. Found you guys and Ben via the winding road of Sitchin, Hancock, both way back in the day, and Randall via Joe Rogan. I am a bass player by nature. Love the tunes. Keep looking under those megalithic stones for truth. Cheers.
Sweet. Thanks,
Well,
bro. We're racking up the bases
We're looking
here.
for a bass player.
We're racking up bases today. That's number 2.
Yeah.
Backup bassist, Nick, bro. You want to be first chair.
You gotta
Better
Gotta
bone
step it
up. Better start thumping
Step
that
it
fat
up.
string, oh boy.
It's the core. Yes, you're right. It's the core. That's the movie with the kid doing the grinding. I love that movie. It didn't do very well, but that one where they get the machine, they go down into try to get the Earth's core restarted. Yeah,
I don't know it. I guess I don't remember.
Yeah,
it
that was
much.
a great.
True Lies was epic though.
True
I got
Lies
a
was
True
good,
Lies. Yeah. Top tier film. Agreed.
Yeah. Bruce Wayne, $20 for Kyle's Skywatcher Jellyfish UFO experience.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Bruce.
All right. This one is called Many Thanks, and it is from Kyle. Yeah.
I wrote us.
Says, greetings and salutations, Snake Bros. As I sit here listening to yet another great episode of Missing 411 Cases, feeling an excitement to go on my planned walk in the woods later today, yet also terrified at the same time, I wanted to write to you guys to express my deep gratitude for several specific aspects of what you do and how you do it. Before I mysteriously disappear into the forest later today and never get the opportunity, while I'm too broke to give anything of any real value at the moment, a big thank you is also meaningful.
Yes.
Yeah. If I do disappear, I'll have my wife send some insurance money your way.
Jeez.
Firstly, I found your podcast during a period of my life when I was feeling quite lost and questioning what all the BS was even for. I was in a career I hated. I was angry and miserable. I was already in many ways asking bigger questions without answers. And finding your show helped me to embrace a different perspective, one where I don't know shit about fuck. And I can see the beauty in that ignorance.
Is this guy from the Northeast or what? He's from New York or something.
I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, that's great though.
Yeah, that's good.
Shit about fuck. And I can see the beauty in this ignorance. Continually asking questions is the point, not knowing all the answers. This brought me comfort in knowing that there were others out there who viewed the world in similar ways. Throughout the crazy journey I've been on so far, upending my life, freely expressing myself as I truly am, and creating my own damn career how I want to do it, the SnakeBros have been there through it all as a steady source of brain expansion to fuel me along my way, and for that, I thank you. Secondly, you have provided me with the inspiration and confidence to create my own podcast. All right.
Cool.
Something I would have been terrified to do a short number of years ago. I've been at it for a while now, and I love doing it. I certainly have a deeper appreciation for all of the work you put into your show. Mine is called Esoteric Wellness, and I explore the intersection of modern scientific and medical understanding with ancient esoteric concepts, which, interestingly, with recent scientific advances are becoming more and more aligned. The work I currently do, neuroplasticity coaching, is right on the fringe of accepted medicine and at the same time well-rooted in science. It's an interesting area where there is ample supporting neuroscience, but it is still far ahead of clinical research. It's been fascinating how teaching others to embrace the same kind of perspective and mindset that you foster on your show has actually become a big part of how I work with people in improving their mental and physical health. Neuroscience is clearly showing us now that esoteric ideas are true, such as most diseases of the body are actually of the mind, that our mind creates very real physical changes in the body, that there are elements of consciousness beyond the physical brain, and there's definitely some areas of overlap with what you guys discuss on your show. If you would have any interest, I would love to discuss further, on or off either of our shows. I can also offer some interesting perspectives in other areas from my diverse professional background, especially pertaining to megalithic constructions. Previously, I've worked in industrial engineering, industrial health and safety, military logistics, and construction. I may have some insights that I've actually never heard anywhere else, such as the disastrous ergonomics of how archaeology suggests things were built in antiquity and what that means. And lastly, I want to thank you for not losing sight of your original purpose. Although the show has changed over the years, the intent and purpose has remained the same. I can listen to episode 2 and the most recent episode, and the continuity is still there.
Wow.
This is so hard to find anymore.
That's cool.
So often you fall in love with the show, and at some point they get a taste of success, and then everything changes. So thank you for sticking to your original intent all this time. It is truly appreciated. On this note, I can't say the same for Randall, sadly. It's been disheartening to see him veer more and more into political polarization and bring that into his content. I notice you guys seem to have stepped back from him as late. I can't help to wonder if this is why. And you don't need to comment on this at all. Success and popularity can be a slippery slope, and I completely understand how someone like Randall, who for most of his career has been an outcast, now suddenly feeling validated, could easily fall victim to it. It is sad to see, though. I'm sure you guys were instrumental in getting him out there in the public eye more, and it might feel like you've created a monster in some ways. However, he is still a wealth of information, and I wish him the best. If anyone deserves to finally profit from years of hard work, it is him. Thanks again for doing what you do. I believe it is of tremendous value to many, and you are doing the world a great service. It is truly appreciated. In health, Kyle. Well, thank you for thank you for all the compliments. We can discuss Randall again. Like Randall, it was always interesting. Whenever we were doing Cosmographia with Randall, there was always we would all get onto the meeting where we would record the show. And there was usually an hour or more of us just hanging out and talking beforehand. And sometimes afterwards, there was a long discussion as well after done recording the show. And a lot of times we were discussing, like, will we discuss this on the show? Should we go over this or whatever? And Kyle and I were constantly advising, just sort of cautioning Randall, like, let's not get too political.
Yeah.
And often Randall would agree. He'd be like, "Yeah, you're right. Maybe we shouldn't." But on certain things, he was like, "No, I'm going to say this," and that's just how he was. He was like, "I'm going to say this, and I this is how I feel about it." Like the climate change stuff, we were like, "Dude, you can cover this as science without getting too like sort of modern politics, right? Just leave names out of it and all this kind of stuff, and just cover the science." But sometimes, he would. He'd want to like veer into this or whatever. And that was...
He'd want to get on his soapbox, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I totally get it.
And Stash does this too. Our dad, like he'll climb up on that soapbox, dude. And it's just, it's how it is. And it's like, that was never...
You gotta love it.
Yeah.
Like, we were trying to like balance between like, let's not piss a bunch of people off. Like we're trying to grow an audience.
Yeah.
And no matter what political side you fall on, you're going to piss a bunch of people off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is divisive.
Yeah.
So yeah, we advised against it, but of course it was his show. He could do whatever.
We
he
also
wanted.
told him that we were like, "This is our advice is not do this, but it's your show, bro. You do what you want." And he's like, "Oh,
there was one, what was it? It was like there was this one period where, he was like, we need to discuss critical race theory.
Oh,
you remember that? I ended up calling him. I was like, bro,
yeah,
you go ahead and do that. Like. We don't want to be.
We don't need to be.
We don't even need to be on that show. I don't want to talk about critical race theory on the internet.
Yeah, definitely don't.
We didn't end up talking about it. We did not. But he was like, we don't have to do that. So it was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But we were again. It was like we're not going to tell you. We're not going to assume that like we have some kind of creative control over the show. We were always like, it's your show. You do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But we think blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did want to get into politics, and he saw a lot of correlations between, and we do too. You see the correlations between the stuff we're looking into and modern political or quasi-political issues like that are in academia and all these things. And it's like, yeah, we can see that. We can kind of point to it at the fringes. We don't have to get into name calling and all, and actually dive into the politics. That's sort of been our rule for our show. And he wanted to go a different direction, and that's great. That's fine.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, like, us stepping down sort of freed him from having to deal with, like, us or the other influences on the show that were like, I don't want to. And then when he would get into politics, we would just kind of sit there and not say anything.
Yeah.
So...
He'd like be talking science, and then he dives into politics, and Kyle and I are just both just like...
Because the shows were tangential, like we didn't want to. We have an audience. We're like, we're not going to discuss politics on the show, and so when we were on his show, we didn't discuss it there either.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of, I don't know. I think I was like really stoked when he dropped that first episode on Squaring the Circle. I watched it. I called him. I was just like, dude, this is awesome. And I feel like that was kind of like maybe where he needed to go.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that just.
I agree. Like our entire purpose, and we told him this from the beginning, we're like, we'll just help you get going.
Yeah.
Like you don't need us.
We thought that
you have so much material. Like we will just like, we'll give you a format. I know how to set up an RSS feed, whatever. And a lot of this was years and years ago. So I'm like, I'll set up an RSS feed. We'll get the YouTube channel going. We'll come up with a logo, whatever. And what the point is that we'll get you going. And once you get some momentum behind it, then you can continue. You don't need us. It was never like, we never wanted to be like part of Randall's show. It was just like, we're trying to help him get going. Cause I was like, the way people look for Randall, the way people look for Randall stuff is you go find him on other episodes. And I was like, but you have so much material, you need to have your own. So that you have your own outlet for your own material. And yes, you can go on other people's podcasts and give a condensed version of all this research, but you have so much information that you just need an outlet where you can do hours a week and just get that stuff out there and in a format that people can find easily, rather than searching like, okay, here's him on Rogan, here's him on Grimerica, here's it. And this is how I was doing it, and I was telling him my personal experience. I was like, dude, once I heard you a couple times, I tried to find everything I could find. And it was either old geocosmic episodes, Geocosmic Rex episodes, where you're talking to a small group in some building, you're giving a presentation, or it's you going on somebody's podcast and then they're interrupting you and then you guys are bouncing all over the place. So like, let's give you a platform where you can just go through all of your material in order, you know? And that's was the point, is to get it started and to hopefully where he can then keep it going. So,
Yeah.
you know, him talking politics, but it had nothing to do with us backing out. We had the more that the vineyard grew and the more the responsibilities there grew, and then the more stuff we were doing with our own show, and then we're doing stuff with Ben, we just had less and less time. And, you know, and in any case, we were never intending to be a permanent part of Randall's shows forever. We had an amicable, everybody, we parted, we told him 6 months in advance. We're like, bro, like, you know, about this time, 6 months from now or so, we're going to like back off from Cosmo or whatever. And everybody was fine with it. We were all like, okay, we agree. And
then I was like, my imposter syndrome will end when I'm out of there.
Your imposter syndrome.
I was just like, every time I'm just sitting there and I'm like, what am I doing here?
Yeah. Why am I on this show?
But it was an amazing learning experience.
It was.
I mean, that's kind of a joke. I did feel imposter syndrome a lot of times. I'm just like, should we even be here? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
But
honestly,
we had fun, and I learned so much.
Yeah.
Holy crap! It was an incredible learning experience. So
yeah,
the Bindle stuff. Like, people are mentioning the Bindle stuff in the chats. Like, I didn't. That was tough, because I was worried about that from the beginning, and I voiced my opinion to Randall all the time. We talked about it on the show. Also, if we said it in private before the show, he would be like, well, let's talk about that. And so then we'd go on, and then I would be like, well, I'm skeptical. And then, you know, we'd talk about it. I didn't think it was viable. And I wasn't even focused on like Bindle as a person. Like, a bunch of people were just like, he's a con man. I was just looking at the tech, and I'm just like, this doesn't make sense to me. And I did a bunch of research on it, and I was just like, I don't think this is doing anything new. But, you know, you never know.
Yeah.
Maybe in 20 years we'll find out it was totally doing something new.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
But you know, the Bindle stuff was just, I mean, it also didn't really have anything to do. We had been planning this for a long time. So like the idea that we were going to slowly sort of separate from Cosmo was in the works for a while. The Bindle stuff happened at the very end, and that was just, you know, I think this happens. Like, people get caught up in some idea, and then as you go through it, and then eventually you figure out, okay, maybe there's not as much to this as I was hoping or that I thought, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the first episodes we did with Randall, one of the earliest Cosmo episodes, we went through Orgone energy.
Orgone energy. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And it was like the Bindle stuff. I was like, this is like, I wonder if there's like a modern version of the Orgone energy stuff. So who knows?
But they're all interesting ideas to explore.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, Bindle's stuff was interesting to look into. You know?
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have published so much on it in the beginning. I would have done like more research and then just kind of talked about it. Like, there's this guy, you know, here's this stuff. Not sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We had a great time.
We had some super chats.
And we're trying. We've been planning to do another show together.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
It just
you know,
keeps
classic.
not happening. Yeah.
Not happening. Oh, we got some memberships.
Members. S. Fleischer, member for 2 months. Huge fan of your show. I listen every day, catching up on replays. Thanks, man.
Yeah,
thank you so
appreciate it,
much.
brother.
And Timmy, member for 12 months.
Timmy Bush.
Timmy.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
What is this symbol at this K6N with a star?
I don't know. I don't know what any of those symbols mean. I'm not. I don't know what any of that stuff means. Scully, $10. Boys, authenticity is the key. Keep being you. Love following the breadcrumbs you lay down. We got a collab so I can disseminate with my students.
Oh.
Oh,
Got
cool.
Students? We will corrupt them.
Yeah.
Do you know who this is?
No.
That sounds cool.
I think it looks like a Discord name. I'm trying to remember. My apologies if I don't remember who everyone is. Okay. Well, anyway, that was a good email. And yeah, the stuff at the end about Randall, you know, he's going to talk about what he wants to talk about. And I'm glad he's actually I tried to tell him, like, you can just keep doing cosmography. And he's like, well, it's not cosmography without you guys. I'm like, what? That was never the idea. But yeah, so anyway, I'm glad he's still doing shows and that it seems to be successful for him.
Carl thinks Biondi is a Bendel.
Ah, interesting.
Huh. I haven't watched the Rogan episode with him. But yeah, I
haven't seen it yet either. I've heard people say it was amazing. I guess I need to look at it. Some of the people that are going to Egypt with us have said.
Yeah, I know. People are mentioning it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, great.
Is Luke trolling us in there?
I feel like I'm going to have to be doing how we have to do in my, well, I'm not real sure the whole time.
Hey, somebody's gifting memberships. Thank you.
Thank you for the
Thanks
gift
for
memberships.
That. Yeah. And what is that?
Thanks for the show during reasonable hours.
Yeah, can I be full? Thanks for
$5. Appreciate it, dude.
Is it reasonable?
7 o'clock? That's reasonable hours.
Okay. People are upset that we didn't do any Randall impressions.
Oh. Well, I can't just do it on call. Can't do it on call.
Yeah, now I can't do it either.
I was doing it when I was doing it in Peru. I was like on the mic.
Yeah.
When we were leading people around, I was like doing the pop quiz questions.
Yes,
Kyle was calling people out.
Kyle was using Randall's way of
giving
calling
people attaboys and stuff.
Yeah. Are you paying attention?
There you go. While you're sitting over there twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Since you're
just sitting there.
That was one of Randall's favorite things. Like, Kyle is actively producing the show, doing checking audio, all this other stuff while we're recording, and Randall would call him out, knowing that he wasn't able to pay attention.
I was not paying attention.
Since you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to get him back on. I mean, that was the other thing I was telling him last time I talked to him on the phone. I'm like, dude, you realize that the last time you were on our podcast was before we started Cosmographia. Like, we never had you on as a guest after starting the show with you. So, like, 6 years we did that.
Yeah, we need to get him.
Yeah.
Like, I have an agenda, too. I want him to, like, tell us some really cool stuff.
Yeah. We have an agenda. Yeah. Okay.
So, we'll do it.
More emails. Yeah, what are we at? Okay, hour and a half.
Yeah.
I might need a break here in a minute, too. Okay. So this one is more Missing 411. So I guess in November of 2024, we were doing Missing 411 episodes. Okay. This is from Matthew. He says, Russ, we need to start bringing more technology like FLIR, thermal, and other basics to the SAR inductions in national parks and call the military every single time. I just thought, it's just a thought, but after some thinking recently, I'm convinced there's enough evidence out there to solve this. Meaning the Missing 411. Whether or not it's being currently appreciated is the question. What's more important is to getting the word out. We have to. Also, I do have the confidence we are going to figure it out fairly soon. Interesting. They do use FLIR, forward-looking infrared radar. This is one of the top tools that they use, like a plane flying overhead with FLIR cameras. Looking for, a lost person in the woods. They do this all the time. I mean, there was not too long ago, like a nationwide news story that they found like a 12-year-old that had gotten lost, and they showed the brief FLIR footage, like flying over, you see all these trees, and then you can see the kid like laying on the ground, like curled up, laying on the ground, like the warm body in the camera. This is how they find them. So what's interesting about the Missing 411 cases is that they have tech like that. The person goes missing, and within 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours, they've got FLIR in the air, and they don't find anything. That's strange, right? Because it is so good at finding, like that thermal, I mean, can easily spot somebody. And if they're anywhere in the area, you got a plane way up in the air, and it's looking at a wide area, like somebody stands out
Yeah, or they were in a cave or something.
Right.
Yeah.
They're hidden. They're already gone. You know, the other possibility, like the other problem sometimes is when the terrain is extremely rugged and it can just be blocked, right? If a FLIR doesn't have exactly the right angle, you don't see them. So, but this is the point of using that tech because it's so good at locating people. And when it doesn't find somebody, then something extraordinary is happening. Okay. But this idea that we're going to figure this out, I don't think so.
Yeah.
The longer this goes on and the longer that we study a lot of these subjects, the more I realize that, like, you know, there's just no quick answers. I mean, sometimes there are, but like, think of Egyptology, how long people have been studying Egypt, and, you know, pieces and things happen, but it's a very slow process. Like the vase thing.
Yes.
It's slow, you know? And I think people are still going to be arguing about those vases after we are dead.
Probably. Dang it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's slow.
All right, let's take a quick break. I need to
Okay.
I got to pee, bro. Let's go.
Hey, how come what is going on with my music? It's supposed to be looping all the time, so
I
I can
don't
just
know.
turn it up, but it stops. What is the deal here?
0 mistakes.
What is the deal? Anyways, go ahead. I'll entertain the guests.
Oh, okay.
Um,
That'll work.
yeah. I ain't got any emails. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The 411 cases, now that Russ is out of the room, like, what can I say? It doesn't inspire me like it does so many, but this SAR data stuff, the Biondi, the Italian scientists, man, I think there's potential in that type of technology, but I think that they are going way too far with the analysis. And like, have they really covered all of the possibilities of noise or reflections or something going on like under the pyramid? Is it possible that the pyramid structure itself is causing these, what look like some kind of reverberation that looks like these, you know, regular cylinders underneath the pyramid? I don't know. And I've said this before on the show many times, even when we were talking to them, we interviewed them, but you know, those structures that they're showing look nothing like anything else that you find in Egypt. And we find a lot of shafts. We find a lot of deep shafts in Egypt, huge, wide ones. They're always square. The only cylindrical or circular ones are much, much later. Like they're wells. There's one right next to the Nile River at the temple. What's the double temple that we go to on the Nile cruise? I just forgot the name. Dang it. Alligators.
Sobek?
No, it's
Kamambo?
Kamumbo. So there's a big circular shaft there that goes way down, and there's other tunnels leading to it. But it definitely was, like, they called it a Nile meter. Like, it was this level meter because when the Nile would rise up, and it would rise and fall with the Nile.
Oh, yeah.
So it was literally like a well cut down into the ground that was connected to the Nile. So the Nile, whatever the level of the Nile was, would be in that well. And I don't know if they pumped water out or what they did, but there looks like there was a water system there, channels under the ground, all this stuff everywhere. So there are a couple. I think even on Elephantine Island, there's a couple of circular shafts. They are not rock cut. In other words, it's masonry on the inside. So I don't know what the original cut was, but they put masonry on the inside.
Yeah. Lined it.
But these are much later construction sites. You know, these are sandstone temples. All the early dynastic stuff is like huge square shafts. So
Yeah.
right off the bat, I'm just like, this looks nothing like the really old stuff. You know, when you go to the Osirian, it's square shafts. Everything is square.
Yep. There's nothing circular.
There's no circular shafts. Like the shaft underneath the step pyramid is, I think, maybe much older than the step pyramid. Obviously, it had to come first in construction, but I mean, I think maybe the shaft was there. It was excavated in the Third Dynasty, and then the pyramid or the mastabas and whatever was built over the top of it.
Yeah.
Because there's the southern tomb, which is an identical vertical shaft, gigantic, square, very deep. It also has a multi-piece granite box in the bottom, just like the step pyramid, but there's no pyramid on top. So I think and then you have Zawiyat El Arian, which is this gigantic rectangular shaft cut very deep in, and it's near, it's
Giza.
on Giza. Yeah. It's on the Giza Plateau. Big square wall, flat wall ramp that goes down into it. Where are the ramps? Where are the tunnels going into? I think, the trial passages on the Giza Plateau, which we have not seen. We have not been able to go into those, but Chris Dunn talks about them a lot in his books. Again, square shafts going down.
Yeah.
It's basically a model of the internal passages and chambers of the Great Pyramid. When you go into any of the pyramid shafts, all square. Where are the circular shafts? Like they're not there. So that's one thing that's weird. If these pyramids are that old, why don't we see more of this infrastructure in places where pyramids were dismantled? Pyramids of the same supposed time period that look like Menkaure, like at Abu Rawash. Like this, I think that Abu Rawash, according to the standard model, it was the same time as Menkaure, the third pyramid. That's got the massive granite casing stones. We believe it may be much older. And I think it would still be contemporaneous with Menkaure, or the third pyramid, because it's the same style. It's granite casing stones. Again, gigantic square shaft or rectangular shaft. I just don't see any evidence for this massive construction. Plus, again, we got the water table problem. These things go way down into the water table.
Yeah.
They would be flooded all the time, even in the great antiquity, it would be probably even more water. The further back you go, like past the Younger Dryas, it's going to be full of water.
Yeah.
What good is that? What good are big chambers underwater? Like, who's going to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. That's where I'm at. So first of all, it doesn't match anything. It's too deep to make sense. And then people say, "Oh, well, it makes the base of the pyramid so much stronger. These big structures under there." I'm like, no, that's 100% the opposite. It makes it weaker because it's holes.
Right. It's hollows.
It's hollow under the pyramid. That makes this base, that makes the bedrock weaker.
Yeah.
If you drill a bunch of holes in something, does it get stronger? No. It's weaker.
Load-bearing holes.
Yeah. It's classic watcher term. I love it. Shout out to the watcher.
Yeah.
Load-bearing holes. That's exactly what they're suggesting. And I'm not saying I'm not saying the Italian scientists are saying it makes it stronger, but people on the internet, I see these people that are just like, yeah, that would just like make it so much stronger. It's like, what are you talking about? You know nothing.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my arrogant view of it. I just think it's wrong. But I do think that this SAR data, because I'm thinking about the physics of this Doppler effect and the the movements of the Earth, and that this thing can pick it up while it's moving using the Doppler effect from the radar reflections. That is really cool.
Yeah.
Now, how precise are the... So I don't know a whole lot about imaging, right? But I am involved with, people like Adam and Katoe at the Artifact Foundation. We've all been a part of this, and they're scanning stuff, right? So you're scanning this vase. I already know what the vase looks like because I could see it. My brain is doing some imaging itself and like figuring it out. But with the scanning, you still have to have like some kind of software to make sense of all of these, all of this
you
stuff.
get all
right?
this data that is specific to the scanner, but then there has to be interpretation,
and
software has to do the interpretation in such a way, and then put it in some visual way where you can look at it.
Then you can understand it.
Yeah.
So, but then there are all of these errors. There are things that happen in the scanning. There are artifacts. There are problems with reflection,
Yeah.
right? Reflective surfaces. Why should that matter? It's a laser. A laser is supposed to reflect. It's supposed to reflect back and hit the sensor. Why would a reflective surface be a problem? It is. I don't know why. I don't know enough about it, but I'm just saying that there are problems with scanning of any type, getting reflections, getting something like that. And when your scan requires the like correcting for movements of the Earth, and this thing is up in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Well, what about, this thing is having to, how is it telling where it is, right? The satellite is up there. It has to have some way of knowing exactly where it is. How does it do that? How precise is its own knowledge?
Well, some of them
location.
do that with lasers to each other.
Lasers to
I don't
the other
know if
ones.
these specific satellites do, but yes, they
But you see what I'm saying? Like,
yes,
how many?
It's all relative, but
how,
yeah.
It's all relative,
Yeah.
and now the Earth itself is changing minutely.
Yeah.
And now, how accurate is this thing's own
Knowledge of where it is.
knowledge of its precise location to recognize the exact minute motions of the Earth in
Yeah.
all these axes of direction,
Yeah.
and then to extrapolate that out into very precise chambers
Yeah, I don't
under
know.
a single structure. I just have questions. So I think that there's promise in this technology, but I wonder about like, well, can you maybe like go a little bit overboard on the extrapolation from the data?
Yeah.
Just like, you remember back in the day with the fish finders, you're on the boat and you're like, dude,
Yes.
it's like suddenly
I
this
do
giant
remember
blob
this massive
just rolls in. You're like, dude. Yeah. There was no fish. It was noise. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's what I got to say about that. We'll see.
Okay. This is a short one from Tim the Serpent. It's called Skirp Derping the Skirptards. What's up, bros? I haven't been able to donate to the pod yet, but you guys get me through the day. I'm still way back on episode 117. Just found you guys this year. Can't wait to catch up. I work at Trader Joe's and listening almost every morning while I break down my pallets and load the shelves. I'd like to send you a box of treats to enjoy while you guys blow our minds. Please send me your P.O. box so I can do my part. Thank you for everything. Well, I don't know. We have this rule like no food. No food in the...
Yeah, please don't send us food.
Yeah. I really appreciate it though, bro. At Trader Joe's. Rocking the SnakeBros at Trader Joe's.
That's cool.
In California
That's cool.
from Tim the Servant.
Trader
Yeah.
Joe's is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to respond to some of this. So
Oh, you got some. Yeah, you got
so
some.
Nicholas, Nick, whatever, Madalena, he says they're not doing reflective scanning; they're doing penetrative scanning.
But
Apparently,
it requires
no,
reflection. Yeah.
no, the radar does not penetrate. It is the Doppler effect of the radar bouncing off the Earth that tells them what's down underneath the ground. The radar is reflecting off the surface.
Yeah.
But because of the change, because of the Earth's own, resonance or seismic activity, these minute vibrations and shifts in the land that are happening all the time, and the Doppler effect on this radar that's going out this way, and it's coming, it will, because of the Earth's own movement, it will change the frequency of this radar due to caused by the Doppler effect. So if the Earth is moving away when the sensor hits it, it comes back at a different frequency. If the Earth is moving towards it when it hits it, it comes back at a different frequency. And because of all it being able to use the Doppler effect to analyze this radar, it can extrapolate what's going on under the Earth. It's very similar to like if you vibrate the ground, you can tell kind of like you can get an idea of like what's down underneath by the way the ground vibrates. You can pick up these minute vibrations and you can tell, oh, so deep, like you can see what's going on. So it is viable. So, but literally it is like they're picking up vibrations on the Earth.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
By way of reflection.
It's not ground penetrating radar. And then the other
And
thing
GPR
was,
also uses reflection.
yeah, the other
The point
thing
is that when do the waves bounce back? Because like a wave will the radar wave will propagate down into the ground and it'll hit a different layer of material and some of it comes back as a
that
reflection.
is a ground penetrating radar though.
Yeah,
But
I'm
yeah.
just saying all
It's
of it is
reflection.
reflection.
It's all reflection.
Yeah, and so the reflection artifacts are when the reflection is so strong that the radar is actually picking up a reflected object somewhere else, right? Like you're looking in a mirror and you're seeing the wall behind you. If you shoot the radar at that, if you shoot like a LiDAR at that mirror, it's going to map the wall, not the mirror, because the reflection is so good that the mirror is completely lost because the radar goes this way and then bounces back and comes back and then you get a picture of the wall in a weird place. This is what happens with some reflection artifacts.
Yeah. So then the other one is he's talking about GPS for land surveying. You'd be surprised what GPS can do now. Just 10 years ago, you couldn't use it for land surveying, but now it's gotten to the point where the margin of error is so low. Absolutely. We use GPS land surveying for the vineyard rows. And I mean, they're like 8 feet apart and it's like, it's very, very close. So what did I think you said it was like less than an inch, less than 1/10 of an inch, but that's triangulation.
Yeah.
There are multiple satellites pinpointing this instrument, and that's totally different than what's going on with the SAR data. It's not a triangulation, so to speak. It's like one unit that is sending, well, maybe it's multiple satellites scanning an area, but they're not using triangulation in the way that a GPS tracking device is.
Yeah.
So and he said the precision was like 1 meter.
Yeah.
And that seems legit. Like I would imagine that 1 meter is like, and I believe that.
I need to listen to more of it. I mean, a lot of the questions he answered when he was on our show were, I asked him like, well, how do you know it can go that deep? And like, what's below that? Does it continue? And
he said, yeah, we can get that.
Yeah. He was like, but basically the cutoff is, 2 kilometers or something like that. Based on all of the information about the radar itself, the satellite, the images they're getting, he's like, we have the cutoff at 2 kilometers.
Yeah. The problem here is that you're trying to extrapolate chambers, like, because they're basically getting like voids, right? Yeah. But now they're extrapolating out like, well, here's the geometry of the voids. Here's how deep they are. Here's how big they are. And when you look at some of the heat map data, it's just like, they look like reflections. And I don't mean a reflection in the sense of like that I know what radar reflecting off of something looks like. It looks like somehow there's like a reflecting effect or a doubling of something going on. And it's like just under the pyramid.
Yeah.
Like the easiest place to look would be under the corner of the pyramid.
Yeah.
Because there's this, apparently like right there, it shouldn't be that deep. There's some massive open chamber.
Right.
I think you could figure this out really quickly with a simple GPR study. How come the Scan Pyramids project didn't find any of this? They've been doing GPR around the outside of pyramids looking for other entrances. GPR is very well established.
Yeah.
So, just saying. Anyways, we can move on.
Yeah. Well, we'll do a few more emails and then we can wrap it up. All right. This one is from Mr. Green 64. Says, hello, I just wanted to send a friendly note to let you guys know how much I appreciate the Brothers of the Serpent podcast. I've been reading about this stuff for years. Back then, not too many people were talking about Graham Hancock, Joseph Campbell, Carlos Castaneda, Nikola Tesla, Christopher Dunn, etc. My friends, needless to say, thought I had lost my mind. So for many years, I've just been keeping a lot of my thoughts and feelings about our awesome universe to myself. It is so cool to see your podcast with others that I watch and have seen the SnakeBros on talking about this crazy, awesome shit. Keep up the good work and quest for truth. I hope to support your show more when I can. P.S. Love the music.
Oh,
from
cheers,
Mr. Green.
bro.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, I think the podcasting in general, changed the landscape of this.
This whole subject? Or?
Yes, because it, like, interested people started podcasts to talk about it because they're interested in it, and that brought in a whole bunch of other people who not necessarily are podcast starters, but who would want to listen to this kind of material. And then all the podcast people started talking to each other. This is how I experienced it. I was hearing these guys starting shows and then discussing some of this stuff. And some podcasts they'll have many, many episodes that aren't about this kind of stuff, this stuff that we talk about. But then every once in a while they have one and I'm like, those are the ones I want to hear.
Yeah.
And then sometimes that would lead me to other shows that were more focused. And then eventually, I hear these people, the podcasters are starting to talk to each other and bring in the guests to talk to them all at once and everything. And I was just like, bro, this is amazing. And, and we got involved in it and just like having all of that happen. And then it also brings all these communities together and then they intermix. It's just like, it changed it from you just go to the bookstore and get Graham Hancock and you're sitting reading it by yourself. And maybe you find somebody you could talk to about, this way, like it starts up these communities. I don't know. It's really amazing how it's changed it and accelerated some things. And also, caused a whole bunch of problems in other ways. there's all this infighting and everything, but whatever. I'm just in it for the pyramids. Okay. This one.
So there's a big argument going on in there.
Oh, okay. In the chat?
Yeah. Well, maybe it's not big. Maybe I blew it up. It's not a big argument. It's a small argument.
A small argument.
But it's interesting stuff. So this idea that they did. So I haven't watched the Rogan show. Maybe we had just watched the Rogan show and then we'll do this next week.
Sure.
We could just make this the entire topic because it seems like, I think this is a hot topic and people are interested.
I'm interested. Yeah.
I am too. So that's what we'll do. How about that?
Yeah.
We'll watch the Rogan show because apparently he shows some stuff. He's pointing out Nicholas, same guy I was talking to earlier. He says they were talking about
Stop hating, Kyle. Scan results are 100%. Stop hating.
Dude, I don't want to lose.
There's no hate here.
You know what I hate? I hate losing sight of, like, I hate, like, taking the eye off the ball for something that isn't worth it.
Yeah.
That's what I hate.
Yeah.
Like, there are some concrete things that we can, like, really, that there are not answered that we can really look into. These things are, like, I don't feel like they're concrete. And I'm sort of in the camp of, like, we'll just let these play out. Like the Bendel thing.
Yeah.
Like, why spend so much time on this? But people are interested. People are talking about it. It blows up. It becomes this big topic. And it's like, well, we got to wait and see.
Yeah.
But things are happening. So I hate to get sidetracked on something that actually ends up not being legit. But we have to look into it.
Sometimes you got to go down those sidetracks. I mean, that's just how.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it's like you get to the end and you're like, damn it.
Yeah. Big sidetrack. Turn around. Head back.
That's all I'm saying. I just hate, because there are other things that I feel like are maybe a little more legit to look into. But yeah, it is interesting. I hate saying this because it's like, I remember you used to mock people that would say, I hope it's real.
Oh, I hope it's
I really hope
I would love if this
I
was
hope
real.
those tunnels are down there, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But
I'd love for this to be true.
And then there's always the caveat.
Yeah, but it's definitely not true. Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all right.
We're going to do it. We're going to watch the Rogan episode next week. We'll live stream. We'll talk all about it.
Yeah.
I'll do some research if I have time. I want to make sure I'm getting my facts right on this SAR stuff. I looked into it once, but it's been a while. But yeah, that'll be fun. Okay, we got one more.
Yeah. This one's called Telepathy 99% Proven.
Okay.
It's from, I think it's Andrew. All right. Hi, Snake Bros. Just had a snaky thought while my friend, also a Snake Bro, and I were discussing religion and politics if humans were able to conquer the solar system, as any sane person thinks about on a Monday evening. Anyways, seeing as presumably every animal species has a common language, would it not technically make sense that humans would have the same kind of common tongue understood by everyone? I think we have talked about this. Like, is there actually was there originally a common language? But then the question is, like, do animals really talk to each other? It's communication.
Yeah.
But is it language.
Yeah. Language is specifically
Yeah.
lingua,
Yeah.
like the tongue.
Right.
Like it's the tongue. They have pheromones. They have all kinds of things.
Yeah. I mean, and we do this too. There's body language.
Yeah.
There's like semaphore. There's sounds that people make that are not like crying or screaming or laughing. None of these are a language, but they're a kind of communication.
Yeah, they all use symbolism. They use symbols, signs.
Yeah.
You know, flipping the tail up or
Right.
something. They show up. They do something that
Yeah.
is like, you know,
Yeah.
signaling.
signaling aggression or yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But was there one language?
Right.
And we all understood each other, and then it was the Tower of Babel, and then we
That's
could no longer
what he's
speak
getting
now.
at.
I
So-
love that idea.
Yes.
That's just fun.
So he says, thinking of the Tower of Babel and confusing of their tongue, supposedly. In that case, I thought maybe somewhat inhuman to do it, but do it for science method, LOL. Kidnap 100 babies right after birth from all different parts of the earth, different cultures, societies, and languages, and put them in a very large natural enclosure kept away from any outside interference, except for robots to keep them alive. And we were talking about what could happen after 10 years or more. How would they communicate? What would their intelligence be like? And we both came to the conclusion of them possibly being telepathic at exactly the same time. So we decided, yep, humans are naturally telepathic, and that is our common but lost form of communication. Would be interesting to hear others' thoughts on our thought experiment. No babies were harmed in the making of this email. In closing, as it seems to be customary, I will now scream, snakes! And if you do ever read this on the podcast, could you email me the show number, as I am still catching up from episodes 1 or 2
Again.
or whatever. All right, I will email him.
This is the problem with getting like 2 years behind.
Yeah, I'll email you, bro. I read some fiction about this topic too, where they do this. There's like, Heinlein did it, discussed it, like the ability to like, if you extract children from all the influences of the modern world and sort of try to do this experiment where you put them in and let them just develop naturally with minimal interference, but keep them healthy and happy and all this kind of stuff, and then maybe they would evolve. Or show that there's all this latent stuff that we've been actually suppressing. Yeah.
I think the language totally changes us.
Yeah.
There was something recently where Laura and I were talking about this. Like, oh man, I wish I could remember it, because it was kind of like a clear example of how like pre-language, or the ability to, I think it was maybe a little bit more than language, but the ability to read and write thought. Right? This curse.
Yeah, the curse.
Because, that's what it was.
Terrible idea.
That's what it was. It seems like, you know, when you're a kid, you forget like almost everything, and then you can remember back to you're like maybe 6 or 7 a little bit, and then 8 and 9 a little bit more, 10. And then you're like, yeah, I remember when I was 10.
You get better at forming memories as language becomes more concrete.
Well, the language is concrete. Or, I mean, like, I feel like the language is concrete, but when you're 5 and you're learning your ABCs and 1, 2, 3 and all of this, it's like we're bombarding their brains with like memorize, all of this stuff that turns into symbols. Look at these symbols, read these words, understand the meaning.
Yeah.
Constantly trying to get them to literally memorize a ton of symbols, combinations of symbols that mean all these different things all over. And it's like, before they're learning language, like they have memories of the past, their previous years. When they're 5, they remember when they were like 2 or 3, and we kind of laugh because they like, when I was 2, they start telling you stuff about when they were 2, and you're like, well, I don't know if you were actually 2. Like they don't really know what year it was, but they do remember stuff.
Okay.
From like a year ago or 2 years ago, and then they get so far, and then like they just forget everything. They forget all of that stuff, and it's like, we'll remember. Like that's kind of what Laura and I were talking about. I was like, what happens? because once you get them,
You think it's the beginning of the systematic schooling?
I'm wondering if it's the teaching of the actual written, the writing, and the reading. Because once that, it's like I'm saying, you're bombarding them with all of this memorization of like minute symbols and their meanings and sounds and all, and then like they are forming it into a system of like symbols in their brain to be all these like abstract concepts. And I was just wondering if that just like erases the previous memory before they were literate.
Yeah.
Because they just replaced all the meanings of words with these symbols. And the meanings of ideas with these symbols. And it's like you completely like, you replace their brain with the language.
Yeah.
With a written language. So anyway, throwing that on top of what he's saying, like if you just let them.
I also read something interesting that I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but recently I read that in general, now obviously you can find edge cases, but in general, the more languages someone is fluent in, the less likely they will be able to get rid of their accent in the new languages they learn. And I was wondering what that meant, like, because I know that, and obviously there's edge cases, right? Some people can, and this is, I think, very few, like someone who can speak 3 languages can speak all 3 of them and sound like a native.
Yeah.
That's extremely rare. But bilingual, I think, it is possible. People can speak 2 different languages and barely have an accent in one of them. And maybe it's, right? You know what I mean? What are you laughing about?
I was just laughing about the Mexicans that I know.
Some of it's cultural.
I love it, dude. They'll be like speaking all this perfect Spanish, and then they turn around and they'll be like, "What's up going on, essay?" It's just like, dude,
Yeah.
it's like perfect English, but it just has this,
Yeah.
has this tinge.
Right.
of-
But it's also supposedly, I don't know this because I have no firsthand experience, but supposedly it's possible to like work on perfecting your usage of a non-native language that you speak and try to get rid of your accent.
Yeah.
But there's been all these studies, and for some reason, the more languages you can speak, the less likely you're able to get rid of your native
Yeah, that's weird.
accent in a new language you learn. Which I think is
I don't know
weird,
what that is.
right? What does that mean? And I'm just thinking about how you were just talking about how like language changes the brain, and like I'm seeing like what do you mean learning more languages makes you unable to eliminate an accent, right? That's I
Yeah.
think this is interesting. So it's like there is something going on in the brain that's very complicated when it comes to language, and I also know that
It's like it starts out as like
it's programming, right?
it's
in some way.
when you're learning a second language, it starts out as like a translation.
Yes.
All the time it's a translation, and then at some point it becomes base code.
Right. Yeah. And then some people are able to switch back and forth.
Yeah.
Like just stop thinking in this code and start thinking in this other one.
But in the beginning you don't have this
Right.
human created base code. You just have like whatever is natural for us, which we
Right.
don't actually know what that is because we don't allow what would be considered child
Language
abuse.
is learned. But that's what I'm saying is like animals.
And I'm not advocating for child abuse. I'm just saying
No
like,
babies were harmed
no
in the
babies
writing
were
of this
harmed
email,
in this theory.
or in the making of this theory, or in the process of doing this live stream. But look, I'm just saying that like, for example, and this is mammals, right? I don't know if this is true for all animals, but I assume it's true for most higher animals, is that right when they're born, they're making the same noises that they'll make for the rest of their lives. A little puppy can bark, can whine, can, make all these different
Same with
noises.
humans.
Cats, right. When humans are born, they cry, they scream, they can laugh,
Yeah.
right? They can sort of make gooey, like cooing noises and giggle,
Yeah.
like all these different sounds that like, okay, they're content, they're happy, they're sad, they're upset, they're hungry, they're tired, whatever. They're angry. But language is a completely different thing. And so I wonder, like, for example, about whales. Like, we know whales and other cetaceans, like dolphins, they have something complex. It's more complicated than just the standard animal noises where they're communicating fear, anger, hunger, aggression, whatever. There's something more complicated going on with the whales and the dolphins.
Kind of the same with birds a little bit too.
Birds,
not
maybe,
as much. But
well, yeah, maybe with some birds. I don't know. I think a lot of it is. I mean, this is why you can, like,
cooing.
what does this bird sounds like? And it's like, that's what that's the sound they make every fucking time, right? It is not talking, right?
Some birds, I mean, not all birds.
Right, but specifically these ocean mammals
Yeah.
have what seems to be a very complex language of some kind. And I would like to know if there's, and probably you could look this up, how long after they're born do they start doing it? Do they have to be taught? Right? This is one of the aspects of a complex language is that you're not born speaking it. Right? So is a baby whale born and it can make some very basic noises, but as it grows older and it's around all of its adult pod or whatever, then it begins to, like, vocalize. And at first it sounds funny, and then eventually they're, like, forming complete sentences. Like, in other words, do they have to learn the language?
Yeah. I don't know.
Which would more imply that it's a language like ours, like what humans have.
People are mentioning elephants as well. They have, like, they are very intelligent. They have weird. They have, like, rituals and stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's a fascinating conversation and idea, and this concept that there's, like, latent human abilities that have been suppressed for a long time due to, like, certain aspects of human culture, language, whatever, and things that we are all teaching to our children as they grow up that, like, suppresses these things, and maybe not even on purpose, but has a side effect, right?
Yeah.
It has it as a side effect. And, like, so what Kyle was saying just then, like, kids have memories and then suddenly start bombarding them with, like, symbols and, like, A, B, C, D, and here's how you write. And all of a sudden they lose their memories of 5 and previous, right? This is interesting.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's kind of weird. And so I guess I was wondering if, like, maybe one of the reasons why some ancient cultures or uncontacted tribes type cultures are so much better at oral tradition.
Yeah.
Because their memories are different.
Yeah. Their memory systems are different.
And I wonder if we actually, like, our memories would be way more, like, some people are just insane.
Yeah.
Like, they just have what people call photographic memories or whatever, but they can read an entire book and basically, like, write it all down.
Yeah, you could say what was on page 152.
Like, it didn't happen to those people.
Right.
You know, they didn't lose the ability to I don't know. It's just like,
and the fact that some people have that and there's no, like, noticeable physiological difference with their brains that we can find may mean that everyone has that latent ability. It's just sometimes it's unlocked and sometimes it isn't, and we don't know how to unlock it. Right.
Well, sometimes it's suppressed, possibly
sometimes
by the by the teaching of writing.
Yeah.
Which I mean, this is one of the things that the idea that, like, Thoth's gift to mankind was both a gift and a curse.
Yes.
Because we lost the ability to do the oral tradition.
Right.
And that's what the correlation that I was making is, like, dude, this is weird. Like,
yeah,
they remember stuff so clearly, and then you teach them.
This is terrible.
You teach them writing, and by the time they're good at reading and writing, they can't even remember anything like a year ago.
Yeah. On the other hand, that story has, like, the little hints of, like, this is a forbidden science. Like, that was the other way I looked at, like, all this stuff that came from the Watchers.
Yeah.
Metallurgy and
of course, writing is a forbidden science.
Yeah.
Okay. Super chats.
And we'll
wrap it up.
Yeah. I saw there was a bunch of people saying.
Let's see. Okay, I think that would be.
Yeah, there might have been above.
There was one more?
I don't know. I don't know.
Those are the.
Okay, we got those.
Yeah, we did this. Okay.
Got those. Okay. Thought on Fire. Google image search white pocket hiking and scrambling exploration. It's the white pillow wave-like geology in some of the pictures. Oh, maybe he means... Are you talking about what we showed at the very beginning, the Peru stuff? Is that what the pillow wave?
Yeah, so that would be extrusive.
Extrusive, yeah.
Rock formation
It's
or whatever.
Yeah. Andesite. What was the other stone type there?
Well, there it was, but
I know, but it's andesite, and there's another one. I can't remember what it is, but it's extrusive. It is an igneous extrusion. So it's actually being like sort of very slowly pushed out as it's cooling, and it can sometimes make these extremely weird wave patterns. Yeah.
it's a crazy looking place.
Yeah,
so
it's
there's
wild.
other ones, I guess. This place is
White
some,
pocket hiking and scrambling exploration video.
white pillow wave. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen it.
Edfu. Dabbler's Den
What's up, dude?
hypothesized that younger Dryas impacts could have caused everyone to go deaf. Yeah. This could cause languages to be relearned over generations when hearing returned than different languages. Yeah.
That's a great. I love that.
Yeah. If everyone went deaf at the event, then all the kids they would have, how would they teach them to speak?
Yeah. Confusion of tongues.
Yeah.
Toppling of the tower.
Yep.
All at once. I love that. All right.
Scully Fox, $20. This is exactly why we need to collaborate. F the system. We as teachers can disrupt the system from within while properly educating students in historical thinking skills. Yeah.
Why?
Is this in context to what we were talking about? Yeah. I mean,
Let's see.
directly educating is good. I think homeschooling is like fantastic. Or small schools. But this doesn't always work. Sometimes you're in a huge community and the schools just aren't small.
Yeah.
So what do? Do you split it up and have a whole bunch of really small schools so that the class sizes are small and it's manageable? Or do you have these gigantic mega schools where there's, 40,000 students? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the answers to that.
I'm not, yeah.
I'm kind of an F the system guy, but at the same time, I love like the core.
Yeah.
It's like, can we just get back to the core?
Yeah.
Anyways. What's next?
The
Yeah.
boat doctor. $20.
$20.
No comment. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Great super chat. Thank you, buddy.
Really appreciate it. Edfu again. Sperm whales also go to the seabed floor and use specific channels to naturally amplify their calls by orders of magnitude. Yeah, I've heard that.
That is cool.
Dude, frogs do
That
this.
is cool.
Frogs and lizards are known to do this too. They'll find a place,
Where
you'll hear
where it makes
yeah,
it
you
super
hear that, and
loud.
you're like, oh my god, that is a gigantic frog or lizard or whatever. And you go and you find it's this little bitty guy, but he's sitting in this perfect pocket of stone, and he makes himself sound like he's massive. They do this.
That's genius.
Yeah, but it's still the same.
Gotta love
croak.
'em.
Yeah.
I love frogs. Okay. That's
All right,
it.
I think that's it. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate all the super chats, all the support, hanging out in the chat with us, and all the discussions that happen. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And join the Discord. You can also send us emails, brothersoftheservant@gmail.com. As you can see, we're getting closer and closer to not being so far behind. So if you send emails, we've almost made it to 2025, guys.
Yeah.
We are actually in December of 2024. So we're getting there. But yeah, send emails, and I do read them all, and some of them I mark for reading on the show, and we will get to them eventually. So other than that, we love you guys.
Always have.
Always will.
Good night, Adamu.
Get back to work.